summer in the rain. Are you stronger for my touch? Am I giving too little by my loving you too much? How is the view? Sunny and green. How do you compare it to the views you've seen? I know I am better and braver and surer too. But you
Hello and good evening to Welcoming Spring with Pamela Kuhn and friends. We love being invited by Miguel Garcia Colon and the Byram Schubert Library to perform for you once again. Tonight, I would like to invoke a semblance of the joy of embracing spring while working through what I hope will be the final days of a pandemic winter. In my singing, in my radio show, Center Stage with Pamela Kuhn on WGCH Talk Radio, and in my teaching, my purpose has been to inspire, and tonight is no different. The thrill of this evening's performance is the fact that I have invited several of my friends from around the world to contribute their talent through recordings for this concert. I have gathered the forces of soprano Catherine Woodward and her husband, pianist and conductor Ben Woodward, English baritone Felix Kemp, Australian tenor Dominic Walsh, and German baritone Marion Müller, accompanied by pianist Clemens Moore. What a generous gift from musicians who will not let the pandemic silence their music making. Everyone performing tonight is a testament to the world of art which has been seriously challenged by the pandemic. Nothing stops us as performers. And as a bonus, we have poetry to accompany the music. With the vocal talents of Christopher Jones and Wendy Mages, our poetic ideas will be maximized by interpretations for our souls longing to welcome spring with the power of the written word. So I am pleased to introduce our wonderful performers for the evening.
Spring by Christina Rossetti. Frost-locked all the winter, seeds and roots and stones of fruits, what shall make their sap ascend, that they may put forth shoots? Tips of tender green, leaf or blade or sheath, telling of the hidden life that breaks forth underneath, life nursed in its grave by death. Blows the thaw wind pleasantly, drips the soaking rain, but fits look down the waking sun. Young grass springs on the plain. Young leaves clothe early hedgerow trees. Seeds and roots and stones of fruits, swollen with sap, put forth their shoots. Curled-headed ferns sprout in the lane. Birds sing and pair again. There is no time like spring, when life's alive in everything, before new nestlings sing, before cleft swallows speed their journey back along the trackless track. God guides their wing. He spreads their table that they nothing lack. Before the daisy grows a common flower, before the sun has power to scorch the world up in his noontide hour. There is no time like spring that passes by. There is no life like spring life born to die, piercing the sod, clothing the uncouth clod, hatched in the nest, fledged in the windy bough, strong on the wing. There is no time like spring that passes by, now newly born and now hastening to die.
Our first performer tonight is a man I am very fond of for his unlimited generosity and his wonderful singing. Plus, we both share an overwhelming love of the Star Wars films. Baritone Marian Müller is contracted at the Hof Opera House in Germany. He has found time to record 2 pieces for us this evening. The first is the German aria Frag nicht, warum ich gehe by Robert Stolz, with text by Walter Reich, from the 1930 film Das Lied ist aus. He will then offer one of my favorite pieces of all time, and an inspiring piece for all of us to reflect upon tonight. From The Man of La Mancha, music by Mitch Leigh and text by Joe Darion, The Impossible Dream. And thank you to Clemens Moore for his work at the keyboard. And here is Marian Müller.
Hello everyone from Hof in Bavaria, Germany. My name is Marian Müller and this is my friend and colleague Clemens Moore. And we're bringing you 2 pieces today. The first one from a German operetta composer, Robert Stolz, who wrote this song for a German movie in the 1930s. And it's called Frag nicht, warum ich gehe. And the second one is from the musical Man of La Mancha, and of course everyone knows it. It's The Impossible Dream, which is very fitting for the current times. We're all hoping for everything to get better. So have fun everyone and stay healthy, stay well, enjoy.
Frag nicht, warum ich gehe, frag nicht, warum, was immer doch geschehe, frag nicht, warum. Ich kann dir nur mehr sagen, ich hab dich lieb, das schönste im Leben wollt ich dir geben. Frag mich bloß nicht das eine, frag nicht warum. Frag nicht, warum ich weine, frag nicht warum. Wir gehen auseinander, morgen küsst dich ein anderer, dann wirst du nicht mehr fragen, warum. Das Lied ist aus, das ich für dich gesungen, mein letzten Klang war mir nach dir so bang. Das Lied ist aus, die Melodie verklungen, nichts fliegt von dir Musik zurück, ein Echo nur von Liebe. Die Rosen, die ich dir gebracht, sind jetzt ein welker Blumenstrauß. Das Lied ist aus. Ich kann dir nur mehr sagen, ich hab dich lieb. Das schönste Himmellieben wollt ich dir geben. Frag mich bloß nicht das eine, frag nicht warum. Frag nicht, warum ich weine, frag nicht warum. Wir gehen auseinander, morgen küsst dich ein anderer. Dann wirst du nicht mehr fragen, warum. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or past, to be willing to march into hell for heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scarred and covered with scars, still strong with his last ounce of courage, to reach the unreachable star.
The Enkindled Spring by D.H. Lawrence. This spring, as it comes, bursts up in bonfires green, wild puffing of emerald trees and flame-filled bushes, thorn blossom lifting in wreaths of smoke between where the wood fumes up and the watery flickering rushes. I am amazed at this spring, this conflagration of green fires lit on the soil of the earth, this blaze of growing and sparks that puff in wild gyration, faces of people streaming across my gaze. And I, what foundation of fire am I among this leaping combustion of spring? My spirit is tossed about like a shadow, buffeted in the throng of flames, a shadow that's gone astray and is lost.
While America battles with COVID, I have watched singer friends in many countries wrestle with the restrictions that the disease has put upon them. But in the case of our next guests, music making has been thriving in their home. I take great pleasure in introducing you to conductor and pianist Ben Woodward and his lovely wife, soprano Catherine Woodward, who are joining us from Berlin, Germany. They are coming to us actually from the Berlin Staatsoper. Catherine and Ben are performing from a rehearsal room at the Opera House, complete with sets in the background. I hope you will enjoy Du bist der Lenz, literally meaning you are the springtime, from Wagner's second opera, Die Walküre of the Ring Cycle. This is the beautiful aria where central characters Siegmund and Sieglinde are united, and Sieglinde ardently expresses her passion. And Catherine then follows with the gorgeous Richard Strauss song, Morgen. I just want to read the text of this lied by John Henry Mackay, because I think it addresses our present reality of looking forward to our tomorrows with rays of hope. And tomorrow the sun will shine again, and on the path that I shall take, it will again unite us, the happy ones, in the midst of the sun-breathing earth and to the seashore. To the broad blue waves we shall quietly and slowly climb down. Silently we shall look into each other's eyes, and the mute stillness of happiness will descend upon us.
Grün
Sonnet 98 by William Shakespeare. From you have I been absent in the spring, when proud-pied April, dressed in all his trim, hath put a spirit of youth in everything, that heavy Saturn laughed and leaped with him. Yet not the lays of birds, nor the sweet smell of different flowers in odour and in hue, could make me any summer's story tell, or from their proud lap pluck them where they grew. Nor did I wonder at the lilies white, nor praise the deep vermilion in the rose. They were but sweet, but figures of delight, drawn after you, you pattern of all those. Yet seemed it winter still, and you away, as with your shadow I with these did play.
Dominic Walsh is a tenor originally from Down Under in Australia. He is a man who possesses a unique sense of humor which shines through. Dominic was a finalist in the Verdi Prize competition in the United Kingdom 2 years ago. He is now a working professional in London, soon to be performing in La Traviata and Tosca. He has not forgotten how precious his voice is while in lockdown in London. He offers us 2 pieces tonight. The first is Salut de mure chaste et pure from Faust by Charles Gounod. In this aria, Faust sings of the adoration of his beloved Marguerite, proclaiming that she is chaste and pure, but more importantly, that she is the missing link for his happiness. And then he closes with a little Gilbert and Sullivan from the Pirates of Penzance, a little flirtatious tune sung by Frederick. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dominic Walsh.
Salut demeure chaste et pure, salut demeure chaste et pure, où se devine la présence d'une âme innocente et divine. Que de richesse cette pauvreté, que de l'héroïque de félicité, que de richesse cette pauvreté. On se réduit que de félicité. Oh, nature, cela que tu as fait si belle, c'est là que cet enfant dormit sous ton nez, a grandi sous tes yeux. Là que de ton haleine enveloppant son âme, tu fis son amour, épanouit la femme en cet âge les cieux.
Oh, is there not one maiden breast who does not feel the moral beauty? This is the aria from Pirates of Penzance, when Frederick, having seen for the first time some beautiful maidens that aren't Ruth, because Ruth, his nursemaid, has been the only woman he's ever seen, but suddenly he's struck upon with these beautiful women and he doesn't quite know what to do. So he's read about it in books, flirting. I think he knows it, understands it to be called. So this is Frederick's attempt at flirting.
Oh, is there not one maiden breast which does not feel the moral beauty of making worldly interest subordinate to sense of duty? Who would not give up willingly all matrimonial ambition to rescue such an one as I from his unfortunate position, from his position, to rescue such a one as I from his unfortunate position. Oh, is there not one maiden here whose homely face and bad complexion have caused all hope to disappear of ever winning man's affection? To such an one, if such there be, I swear by heavens arch above you, if you will cast your eyes on me, however plain you'll be, I'll love you. However plain you'll be, if you cast your eyes on me, however plain you'll be, I love you, I love you, I love you.
A Little Madness in the Spring by Emily Dickinson. A little madness in the spring is wholesome even for the king. But God be with the clown who ponders this tremendous scene, this whole experiment of green as if it were his own.
Felix Kemp comes to us from the southern counties of the United Kingdom. Nestled in Kent during the pandemic lockdown, he has continued to make music despite the confines of COVID. He has just recorded the role of Juan in the opera Juliana by Joseph Phibbs, and he looks forward to an upcoming recital with bass baritone Roderick Williams and many other concerts which were postponed due to the pandemic. Like all of our performers tonight, the future looks bright for Felix as an emerging young professional singer. First, we will hear one of Papageno's arias from The Magic Flute by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. This second act aria tells of the birdcatcher's despair in losing his perfect mate, Papagena, and he threatens suicide without her. He then closes with the beautiful Questo Amor from Puccini's second opera, Edgar. This is an ardent aria where the character Frank laments over his devotion to his beloved, who shuns him. Ah, misfortune, I love her. Paul Mackenzie is his able support on the keyboard. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is Felix Kemp.
Papagena, Papagena. Weibchen, Täubchen, meine Schöne, vergebens. Ach, sie ist verloren, ich bin zum hohen Glück schon geboren. Ich plauderte, und das war schlecht. Und drum geschieht es mir schon recht, Seit ich gekostet diesen Wein, seit ich das schöne Weibchen sah, so brennt's im Herzenskämmerlein, so zwickt es hier, so zwickt es da. Papagena, Herzensweibchen, Papagena, liebes Es ist umsonst, es ist vergebens, müde bin ich meines Lebens. Sterben mag dir lieb ein End, wenn's im Herzen noch so brennt. Diesen Baum da will ich zieren, mir an ihm den Hals zu schnüren, weil das Leben mir missfällt. Gute Nacht, du falsche Welt, weil du böse an mir handelst, mir kein schönes Kind zu bandelst. So ist's aus, so sterbe ich. Schöne Mädchen, denkt an mich, schöne Mädchen, denkt an mich. Will sich einer um mich armen, ich hänge noch Erbarmen, wohl so lass ich diesmal sein. Rufet nur ja oder nein, rufet nur ja oder nein. Keiner hört mich, alles stille, alles stille, also ist es euer Wille. Papageno, frisch hinauf, ende deinen Lebenslauf. Papageno, frisch hinauf, ende deinen Lebenslauf. Nun, ich warte noch, es sei, ich warte noch, nun, es sei, bis man zählet, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. Nun wohlan, es bleibt dabei. Nun wohlan, es bleibt dabei, weil mich nicht zurückgehält. Gute Nacht, du falsche Welt. Gute Nacht, du falsche Welt. Quest'amor vergogna mia, io spezzar, scordar vorrei, ma d'un orrida malia sono schiavi sensi miei. Mille volte al ciel giurai di fuggirla e a lei tornai. Giurai di fuggirla e a lei tornai. E la ride del mio pianto, ed io vil col cuore infranto ai suoi piedi mi prosterno, ai suoi piedi mi prosterno. Ella ride del mio pianto, del mio sdegno si fa scherno, ed io vil col cuore infranto ai suoi piedi mi prosterno. E ne soria brava, a sventura io l'amo, a sventura
Daffodils by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not be but gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart, with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils.
A Light Exists in Spring by Emily Dickinson. A light exists in spring, not present on the year at any other period. When March is scarcely here, a color stands abroad on solitary fields the science cannot overtake, but human nature feels. It waits upon the lawn. It shows the furthest tree upon the furthest slope. You know, it almost speaks to you. Then, as horizons step or noons report away without the formula of sound, it passes and we stay. A quality of loss affecting our content, as trade had suddenly encroached upon a sacrament.
Well, that is our show for tonight. I hope you have enjoyed our performers in the offering of a taste of spring. I would like to thank Catherine Woodward, Ben Woodward, Felix Kemp, Dominic Walsh, Marianne Müller, and Clemens Moore for their musical talents, and to Wendy Mages and Christopher Jones. They have helped us realize the power of the spoken word. The song you heard at the beginning of our program was actually me singing Who Am I Now from Funny Girl. My pianist was David Holkebor. I feel that it somehow asks all of us to reflect on who we have become during the past year, enduring the pandemic and its after effects. The truth that I know is that the performers tonight have proven to us that music and art still thrive. I hope you will take a moment to remember that it is art that can remedy the chaos that life can present us with. Embrace your moments to let art be your meditative practice for your soul and for your future. And now, I hope you will enjoy the song People from Funny Girl, sung by yours truly with pianist David Holkebor. Because in the final analysis, community, sharing, connection, and people are all that matters in this world. Good night, everyone, and thank you to Miguel Garcia Colon and the Byram Schubert Library. And our curtain is now down.
People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. We're children needing other children, and yet letting our grown-up pride hide all the need inside, acting more like children than children. Lovers are very special people. They're the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst,
But first, be a person who needs people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul